All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the October 1st, 2024 iteration of the Kubernetes SIG-Windows community meeting. As always, these meetings are recorded and uploaded to YouTube, so be sure to adhere to the CNCF Code of Conduct. For anybody new here, that pretty much is just be nice. All right, we can get started. So there's some announcements. First announcements is the 132 release cycle enhancement freeze is next week. That is October 10th for PST time. And I think we're tracking a couple of enhancements. I think that there is a soft deadline for enhancement or for PRR freeze this week, and I was looking up exactly what that meant, and I found a link somewhere. I'll link to it again here after. But basically, any of the CEPs that are open should have all of the PRR questions for the current stage or the stage that their enhancements are targeting for this release filled out. And it doesn't mean that we need to have the PRR reviewed here, but as always, like the sooner that PRR team can get involved with the pull requests and review, the better, since they're kind of have limited bandwidth here. So that's, I guess we can go over it CEPs a little bit during the agenda too. Next announcement is, yeah, KubeCon's coming up in November in Salt Lake City. I always like to give a little plug for the Contributor Summit for anybody who's able to come and attend the day before. I think Monday, November 11th this time is the Kubernetes Contributor Summit. That does require an extra registration. I can find a link and put it in here afterwards, or you can just look up like KC, or I don't know, just look up the Kubernetes North America Contributor Summit, and there's that. That usually is restricted to org members or in Kubernetes, but if there's anybody who's been involved in the community that isn't an org member, the SIG leads can sponsor people if they're kind of tangentially related. So reach out if you are going to be in town and would like to attend that. It's a good way to kind of meet all of the other maintainers, learn a little bit more about other SIGs, see the priorities of other SIGs, where other SIGs can kind of use some help, and just meet more people face to face, and it's a lot less hectic than KubeCon. Does anybody else have any announcements for today? I don't think so. Okay. So next, space for new contributors to be welcome. I think everybody here is we've seen before, but if there's anybody who's kind of new to the SIG or just wants to say hi, feel free to speak up and say hi, or if there's specific questions, if they're quick questions, we can try and answer them. If not, we'll get them into the agenda. So I'll pause for a moment. Okay, I guess we'll go on to our agenda. Amin, did you add these here?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got two flakes.
Yeah. So at this point, they are cutting the alpha 1. So this is a process that happened, I don't know, 2 hours ago, started 2 hours ago. Right now, all the boards are green, but there are these two flakes here that I just want to confirm. This is something that happened, but I think that the first one is a new one, the other issue.
Yeah, James, do you want to comment on this? If not, I can try and comment on this. So this is mostly an infrastructure. We think it's mostly an infrastructure issue that's happening with KEP-Z clusters. I thought we had another issue with this as well, but in here, not entirely sure if it's a timeout, or like I've seen this even when creating clusters in KEP-Z on Azure locally, although that has been much less frequent than this. The control plane is just not coming up in time. I think we have a 5-minute timeout. Okay, I see Ritika just joined too. So how do we know how often we're seeing this? It looks like
It's quite a while, quite a while.
once or twice daily. Okay. Um, James or Tika, do you think we should just try and increase the timeout for where we wait for the control plane for 5 minutes? Because I think if we've gotten to this point, we've established that we have capacity. We at least have capacity for the management cluster, right?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. We don't have enough logs. I meant to fix that and haven't gotten around to it. So um, I don't think a timeout's going to help here. I'm guessing something else is going wrong, but we just don't have enough information to diagnose it. So we'll have to increase the logs or like collect more logs during one of these failures from the management cluster to determine what's going wrong.
Okay, yeah, we'll either need to get the management cluster, or I wonder if we can get like ARM logs for the Azure resource group.
Yeah, that's another thing that we could collect at this point too.
Okay. It might be good to see if we can correlate this to a specific resource or region as well. But okay. Let me just, I don't know if,
Not sure this is related.
yeah, okay, I don't think that this is related. Um, okay, I can comment on this after the meeting. We'll take a look. But yeah, I think right now, let me see. Uh, I'll comment on this afterwards unless somebody beats me to it, but I think we'll just say, yeah, this is not a blocker for the release. Because I think as far as we can tell, like if the cluster comes up, we're mostly seeing green, except for possibly this one. So has this one been flaking again?
Yeah, this was never solved, I think. The retries that James added decreased the amount of flake, but they're still flaking less than it was before. But
I have absolutely no idea what to do for this one at this point. But I think we've said this before too, but like we've never seen customers and actual real life usage examples like experiencing this. So it's been very confusing here. I don't want to, I really don't want to like disable this test. Do we know, where's the, I wonder, is this becoming less frequent?
yeah, compared to what was before, the retries increase. One thing is like to increase more. The retries, I think it's 2 retries.
Does anybody remember what the website is that shows the is it like the Kate's Triage website?
Yeah. Gonna send here in the
In the doc or in the chat? Yeah.
Zoom chat.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's oh sorry, yeah, that's what I was looking up. I'm just curious how much I guess we could just do. Hmm. This is just for filters and
Bring
viewing.
it the test, the last field.
Hmm? Sorry, what was that?
Put in the test field or EDC.
Yeah. Okay.
The last field is the no.
Okay. We'll try and look into. Is it because it's a network test?
I don't know. Sometimes this app doesn't have all the tests.
Okay, well, either way, I mean, what did we set the retry to? Because we set the flake attempts to something, right? Do we want to try and increase that?
What was that, James? Is two retries?
I'm checking in I think we set that just in here, right? Yeah. Do we want to try 3? Yeah. I'm also curious, Arvind, I mean, anybody else who may be on a different platform or using a different CNI, is this just an issue with Hep Z and on Azure?
I think we also have dashboards for other CNIs for SIG-Windows, if I'm not mistaken. We should have one for Flannel, uh, which was set up some time ago. If we check this, yeah, exactly. I wonder if we can see this failure there.
Well, this isn't that much data, but that's green. I think if we'll try and get that case triage working.
Mhm. Because that might be interesting to observe as well. If by any chance this doesn't happen in Flannel, then maybe something must be up with Calico. Though might be interesting to check if those tests also have retries, how many retries. But those tests are a lot more sparse. I think it's being tested once every day, maybe, or once every two
Yeah.
days. So it's not a lot of data, but still, with the frequency we have seen this test failing in the past, still might be interesting to know.
Okay. So yeah, let's check and see what the flake attempts were for these and maybe try bumping it up to 3. Because I'm not seeing these are all real solid.
Runs each 2 days without any flakes.
I think that like there's a bunch of different tests here. I think that the 2022 looks like it's running every other day. 2019 is running also every day for a couple of different flavors. Like one is I think I don't know what SDN bridge stable targeting and master. I'm guessing this is the either last release or the master branch of the Windows Container Networking GitHub repo.
One other thing which I didn't think about, do we see the OIDC test failure on both 2019 and 2022?
Yeah, I was
Or,
just thinking, I was also thinking about that.
yeah.
I thought that all of the like the master jobs were running on 2022 now. Well, we can just this one did flake at some point. So it wouldn't be that one is probably not. I mean, this isn't. Where was that failure? Okay, so here is one time where this was the only one that flaked.
Amin posted a link in chat as well, which searches the failures during the past month, I think.
This
And
is this is on 2019.
Mm.
Let's I think we can look at that offline and see if it is just on 2019 or not. I want to give some time for the keps. James, did you want to talk about the CPU and memory affinity kep and issue?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Not as clear as other times, but yes.
Yeah, sorry, I'm in the car today. So we kind of finalized the details from a SIG-Windows perspective around the CPU and memory affinity. And I brought it to SIG Node last week and got some mixed opinions on kind of how we should approach it. And I think essentially the conclusion was that we should have a kep mainly from a communication standpoint to our end users to make sure that they're aware that this will be something that's new. And even though the underlying feature is stable, it's not stable on Windows because it hasn't really been used. And so for that, they suggest we open a kep, have a feature flag. And so I moved all the information that we kind of agreed on in the previous iteration into here, and then I added some information around testing and the kep process. So if anybody can take a look, that'd be great. We were hoping I can get this.
You're cutting out a little bit, but I heard that. Yeah, I took a look at this yesterday, and I had a couple of comments, mostly small ones. I think that they all got addressed. I didn't see any big differences from when this was open as like an add-on kep. So I think it looks good to me. I think one of the big questions, which is also called out in here, is how we want to do the testing. And I know James was taking a look, and most of the test coverage for this is in the ETE node test suite, which we don't currently run on Windows. So there's a little bit of, I think, especially if this progresses to beta, figuring out what do we want to do there? Do we want to try and run the ETE node test suite on Windows or port some of the tests or whatnot? But I think we can defer that to graduating to beta, correct?
That's my hope. I also made a pass a ETE node, and just to make sure it wasn't going to be impossible to run.
Okay.
Work on that. I think it'd be a great learning experience and cool thing to work on. So, but reach out to me.
Okay. One thing, does SIG Node want to also be a reviewer or approver on this? I think that that's the last piece that I think is missing, is getting a approver and removing the TBD for reviewers here.
I'm not sure. I guess I can put somebody on there. Dawn made it sound like, she wanted to leave it up to us for the most part, but probably want to make sure that they're aware of that this is out there now. So.
Okay, yeah. I mean, they're definitely aware of that this is coming. So let's just try and get that answered, and then we can get the kept merged, or like, and hopefully get the PRR done so that we can get the kept merged.
Yeah, James, you can even add me as a reviewer, because I remember I reviewed the first, iteration of this when you had posted it as part of the other KEP.
I do know that we're also, we're tracking the Windows, or sorry, is there anything else to discuss for that, or we can briefly discuss the status of the Windows node shutdown KEP if not. Okay, I think I'm gonna move on. I also took a look at this KEP yesterday, and I think it's kind of in the same state. I had a little bit of some feedback. It was a lot, some nits mostly, except a little bit of clarification about what is and isn't in scope. But this KEP also looked pretty good. So I think there's just a couple of updates, and I see that this does have reviewers and approvers. Let's also make sure, and I can help with this, that SIG-Node is okay with all of these. I think that this KEP, I think like they're aware of this. I don't think that they need to be a reviewer or an approver for this KEP, because this KEP is really focused on the Windows implementation. But we'll double check with that and then try and get this the PRR team ready to review this.
Yes, thanks. I'm addressing the comments and working on that now.
Okay, yep. That's great. Does anybody have anything to add or questions about this KEP?
Are we waiting on any feedback or something from external folks, or are we good there?
I think
I don't
that,
see any.
yeah, I don't think we're waiting. I had some comments, and I think we'll just want to clarify that if SIG-Node needs to review this or not.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, I should rephrase it. Like, do we need to get like third-party eyes involved here?
Yeah, I'll
Outside of
ask at this
SIG-Windows.
SIG-Node meeting next. I don't know, like, I mean, we definitely brought this up. I don't remember what I thought that they're mostly happy to let us drive the design for Windows, if I recall correctly. Do you remember if that's the case, Young? Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, we'll just double check. And then I think just waiting for does this have a PRR assigned? A PRR reviewer assigned? I think that's on the enhancements board, right? Let's take a look at that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll just try and follow up and make sure that the PR is reviewed for both of these. This is this in the, oh, okay, we need to opt this in so it gets on the board. I'm going to do that now. Okay, this should cause it to get added to the enhancements tracking board, which is where how the PRR reviewers get assigned. We need to add milestone. Okay. I think that
Yeah, James, I think we need to add a milestone, 132 or
yeah. Okay. Does Do we need to add a milestone for the CPU memory affinity one? Yep. Okay. Does anybody have anything else to discuss? If not, I'm gonna stop sharing.
I have one item, but we could even leave that for next week. Not a urgent thing. Just talking about why the node log query tests are failing. I know we're running out of time, so we can just punt that to next week.
Okay, let's add that to the beginning of the agenda next week. Okay. Thanks all. And I will comment on those CI flakes now for the one where we couldn't reach the API server. Okay. Yep, thanks all. Hope everybody has a good week.
All right, bye folks. See you on Slack.
Thanks, bye.